Okay, so I'm here with Lisa and Pasco. They're here on behalf of Oneness Australia University. So we're going to have a chat and just find out what you guys are doing here. You're on the Gold Coast at the moment, and yeah, so I thought I'd just sit down and get to know you. So Pasco and Lisa, you're going to be presenting on the Gold Coast soon and talking to people about the Oneness University. So I guess in a nutshell, you know, what is it? What are we talking about?
Well, we'll be conducting a program on behalf of Oneness University. We provide the technical side, and the actual seminar is conducted from Oneness University.
So from India?
Yeah, via web conferencing.
Yep. So
we are anchoring it here and we facilitate. So it's called the phenomenon and the boom.
Right.
And people ask, what's the phenomenon and what is the boom? The phenomenon is really an energy. It's an energy that's here, and anyone who's done yoga, meditation, tai chi, any of these modalities understands about energy, that all of life is energy. But this particular energy is here at this time as we transition into this new age to support us, to support all humanity, all people, to really assimilate and use the new energies that are coming in. And that's the phenomenon. The phenomenon is a light energy. We call it love, or supreme love, or universal consciousness. You can give it many names. But it's here with a specific purpose, that is to usher in this new age. And in the first part of the seminar, the nature of that energy and how we can best receive it, that is remove blockages, understand ourselves, see ourselves, very important, see how our life is unfolding, what role we play within our life, how we really are designing our life, whether consciously or not. So that the whole first part of the seminar is setting us up to really understand our life. Then the second part is how to receive the boon, or the gift. The gift. Because ultimately, in this mission, or in this purpose, it is said that we need to be given this. It's for us to create out of where we are is difficult, because we have the limitation of our conditioning and so on. But once it's clear, we are open to receive the gift. So we really are afforded this wonderful new opportunity to see and experience life in a beautiful, beautiful new way, open way, a lot more joy and bliss and happiness and better relationships and so on. So in a nutshell, that's the seminar we are presenting.
Right. So taking us back a step, is this a way of us sort of stepping outside of ourselves for a moment and kind of looking at our life, from outside? Because that's one of the really hard things to do, isn't it? Where we can look at our friends and we can give our friends advice, but sometimes it's difficult to kind of see what's really going on with us. Is this a way to really get in touch with ourselves, kind of from an outsider's perspective, would you say?
Yes.
Or?
I think what my personal experience is, and having done these programs, is it truly gives you that opportunity to have that self-awareness, to grow in that self-integrity, and to come to that place where no longer is the mind controlling and running your life, which the mind, of course, is consisting of, our beliefs, our concepts, our ideas, our experiences, and these leave an impression. This impression is held at the cellular memory within us, and it takes a lot for this energy to be completely cleansed and released. And what happens with the Oneness University, which is a university of consciousness, and with this program, is it comes with profound teachings that apply to every human being, because we all have the same mind, because we're all experiencing life with the same set of emotions, with the same inputs, with a different perspective or a different group of maybe conditions, but it's still the same for us all. And I feel the gift of Oneness University is the total understanding of our human condition, and it is backed up with this profound energy that cleanses, purifies, releases, and gives us this opportunity to truly have this different relationship to ourselves, which of course reflects out as a different relationship to others in life. We have so many experiences of people whose lives, they almost don't resemble what they used to resemble, nor their relationships, this helps. This is all about your relationship to self, life, and others.
So, and meditation, which you've mentioned, are really good ways of sort of clearing blockages and things. We hear that, you know, good food and our diet's really important. But is this sort of a way to fast track, you know, that process of sort of realising there's a problem and perhaps clearing that problem?
Well, indeed it is. And from my own experience, I discovered yoga and meditation quite some time ago. In fact, I taught it for a number of years. But I actually lived in a yoga school for the best part of 10 years. And there we did all the practices, really 24/7. And however, what I was seeking really didn't happen, certainly not in the way that I needed it to happen. That is to move my awareness or my consciousness into a new space or into an expanded place. After I did the very first course at Oneness University, when I came back into my life, I was an architect, I'm an architect, I was working as an architect. When I went back into my work, I realised everything was different. The way I was relating to people was different. I loved the way I could express it, that I could look people in the eye. You know, any anxiety about the self was not there in relating to people. The work itself flowed better. Things that I used to see as chores and didn't enjoy very much, I started to enjoy. In fact, there was nothing that I didn't enjoy. It took a little while to adjust to the fact that my life was truly different. And what was different was that it just flowed. And because it was said that what this work, this opening, this process, whatever word we give it, would do, it would bring you into the immediate experience of life. And they have a wonderful saying at Oneness University that we are designed for bliss. I love it. I love the idea. We are actually designed for bliss. You know, they say every sense perception is designed to give you bliss. Every sense perception. But if it's not there, it's because the conditioning or the conditions, or the circumstances, even the environment, so on, has somehow insulated that direct experience of life. I knew the teaching from yoga. We used to say, if you can truly be in the moment, if you can truly feel and be present with whatever it is, then you will have, you know, a wider experience of life. But it didn't happen for me and for many others. Yet the processes, the courses at Oneness University just brought that out. It just gave it as a gift. So we come back to what I was saying earlier. This is giving as a gift to you. You don't have to strive. You don't have to work hard. Please do yoga and the meditation practices because they're beautiful to do and they have many wonderful benefits. But in terms of getting that gift, it's going to be a gift from what we say is the divine consciousness or universal consciousness that is there. And that is what the courses at Oneness University are about. That is the mission of Oneness University, to really give us this new experience of life, which many modalities, of course, is the aim to give. And here it's given to you on a plate by doing the courses.
Yeah, no, I love that, you know, you have your own personal experiences with it, and I know that we've spoken a lot about, you know, other people and people that you have met over the years who've experienced, you know, the same sort of thing, and there's some amazing you know, stories out there. What's one of your favourites? What's one of the ones that really sticks in your mind that you kind of just went?
I think mine is because I'm a mother, I have 3 children, and I know the journey that I had with my parents, because a lot of what Oneness University talk about is just that number one in our life is our relationship to each other and our relationship to those closest to us. And so one particular experience was a father came to the program, and he underwent the process, or is in this energy. It's the most divine energy that does the work for you, that does the shifting of energy, just shifting of consciousness within you that may be limiting you. And this particular man, he had 12 years ago, he had had a fight with his father, and while his wife was pregnant, and in the pain, in his own pain of whatever that brought up for him, he didn't want to, he thought, it's what the human condition does. We want to hurt the other if they've hurt us. And so he thought maybe in that pain he would not share his child with their grandparents. And we didn't know this about him, we didn't know his life story. He shared it with us afterwards. And so his parents had not seen their grandson for 12 years. He came to the event. The energy knew that that's what was limiting his experience of life, his experience of openness to life. And so he shared with us. We met him accidentally in a supermarket 2 weeks after he did the event. And he said, "You're not going to believe what happened." And he said, I did that course. I went home. For some bizarre reason, 1 week later, I just had this impulse inside. I've got to go visit my dad and take my son. I can't explain why. It was just an impulse. I knew I had to do it. I went there. I knocked on my dad's door. He opened the door and tears just fell. And that was the changing, the healing of the relationship. And there was nothing that he consciously did. This is what happens. The energy in its intelligence, because this energy is specific. This energy, what it does, it allows us, its intent is to take us out of our suffering, our psychological suffering. And so much of our human condition is psychological suffering. And so for him, this energy knew that that had to shift before anything else could shift in his life. And as these things are healed, it opens up these, because what happens is everything is that reflection of our life, and our contraction comes from our pain. So each bit of contraction or our pain that is healed or released opens us up more and more to experience life that is there that we miss, because we actually can't see it or experience it because we don't know, because that contraction holds us, holds us solid. So it's a beautiful gift. My own personal experience is that I had a long journey with my mother, and we had a very intensive relationship. And later in life, my mother had dementia, and when I would go and visit her, I wanted to love her with all my heart, but I could feel a separation in the relationship, even though we couldn't speak to communicate. There was an energetic, I knew it wasn't reaching, and I felt uncomfortable about that. So I did pray to please have help, because I want to be freed, I want to be able to feel that love for my mother and compassion for my mother. And so I had this, what the energy did for me, what it showed me, is it actually, it's like, when you have your eyes closed and you have like a dream or a vision or something. It actually took me to my mother's nursing home, and it put my mother in my arms. Wow. And I held my mother in my arms, and I was stroking her like you do a child. And that love was that experience was so real and so profound. And afterwards I said to Pasco, it was so real. It was like that really, really happened. It was so real for me. And I'll only know when I get home and go visit my mother in the nursing home. And of course, when I went there was no barrier. The pain had gone, and I felt that love and connection and compassion that was open, free. And for me in my life, that was the greatest gift. And I was blessed to be there with my mother's passing. And Pasco and I were sitting with her, and we felt the love and the peace of that connection of being there as she passed. And it's such a grace. You would want it for every human being. You would want it for everybody. Yeah. And the healing of relationship is the number one thing from Oneness University. And this is the gift. And of course, coming back to the gift itself, that relationship itself, when it has that freedom and that integrity, which when these energies, when these blocks, when these conditionings are freed, it's what's there. It's just, I spent the majority of my life trying to be better than I am, trying to be something else, and not at peace and not content. Whereas now I have the freedom to be who I am, and to see, wow, I got angry at that, or this was distressing, or whatever it is, and just be with whatever's happening without judging myself or thinking I should be different. And what happens is awareness. What happens is you have an awareness, and in the awareness is the freedom. It's an incredible gift.
So it's it's not that you guys are necessarily perfect in any sense. It's not that you sort of, you know, float through life and, you know, nothing upsets you. You don't, you know, you don't feel human emotions. It's that you, process them a little bit better and things like that.
I think you're so in tune. You get so in tune with yourself that you are aware of what's happening, and so it's not running your life. It's normally when it's a charge, it's a very forceful reaction, comes automatically. But what happens is something's happening, and you're thinking, oh, you know, you're able to see it, you're able to be aware of it, and there's certain games that we play with each other in our human interactions, and once you can see these, there is such a freedom in the relationship because, and these you learn in the course, they are so profound. In one way, they're so simple because I think truth is simple. You know, the truth of life is quite simple, but it's just they're so profound if they become our own knowing and our own truth. They're so liberating.
Yeah, it sounds incredible.
The wonderful saying that Oneness University has, that it is to see is to be free.
Yeah.
And then they add, not see so that you can become something else, or see in order to.
Yeah.
But they say just the seeing is the freedom. Like I was saying before, nothing needs to be added and nothing needs to be taken away. Every experience is designed for bliss. So if we can see, we can truly be with the experience, then it is bliss. We lived this, like this was my journey. I truly had an impression that I had to become better. I had to become perfect. I had to evolve. Like when I evolve enough, then I will have better experiences, I'll be more successful and so on and so on. What the university are teaching, and this is in the course, this weekend course, they say, can you see where you are? Can you see who you are? Can you see the games you're playing? Not that they're wrong, not that they're right, but if you can see, oh, I'm playing an ego game in relationship. As soon as you see yourself playing it, no judgment, no, so I mustn't do that anymore. But as soon as you see it, everything changes. Yeah, and you may do it again and then again and again. But if you keep seeing it, then you have an energy experience that really opens you up to life.
Yeah.
So the great liberation is that you don't have to become somebody else. You do not have to go to another place.
Phew.
Right? You just live your life. And we always say the beauty of these courses and the teachings, the processes of Oneness University is that they just are for your life. They're not to join a club or to be a member of a team or to join an activity. It's just how can it work in your life? What can it do for your relationships? Can it bring more love in as an experience in your life? Can it improve your relationships with your nearest and dearest, your children, your parents, and so on? And it does. And that is, and another beautiful expression of the university is life is relationship. Because what is there unless we're relating?
Yeah, it's right.
You know, we gain our identity through relating to others and the world around us. And if that relationship is in order, then the life is a totally different experience. Again, coming back, that is a gift. That is a gift that is given to you.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds incredible, and you talk a lot about, you know, bliss and things like that. So how do we, you know, learn more about it? How do we, you know, get these feelings and, you know, process all these emotions? And yeah, because you're going to be on the Gold Coast and you're going to be doing some workshops, I guess, and teaching people. So when's this happening? How can we?
Well, there's a workshop on the 14th and 15th of May. It's a weekend workshop, as we said before, streamed from India. It's taken by the guides or teachers from Oneness University via web conference, plus with the audio-visual support, you know, on the ground here. So for the music, and there are videos that are used, but the actual teaching comes from India. We just did one in Sydney. In fact, last weekend. It was extraordinary. We keep talking about energy, but it's about energy. The feeling in the room is extraordinary. The love. I'm actually running the AV, and I'm feeling this love. My mind's trying to be in the computer and everything that's happening, I can't, like this love, this soft, it's a soft love, this beautiful, exquisite.
In the room.
In the room.
Yes, lovely.
We're all feeling it, and people are crying and, you know, through it, and it's just so
Hugging,
beautiful.
dancing.
Wow. Okay, and the Gold Coast events are being held where?
Sofitel.
Sofitel, perfect. 14th,
14th,
15th of May.
In Broadbeach.
Wonderful. All right. Well, hopefully, you know, we can get lots of people along who want to participate and want to learn more. You know, there's so many wonderful stories, and I'm sure you'll share more of those on the night. So
Yes.
wonderful.
Yes.
Thank you for talking to me.
Thank
Pleasure.
you.
Thank you, Pascal. Thank you,
Pleasure.
Thank you
Lisa.
so much.
Thank you.